Because this morning we are taking you on a tour of the Tennessee Valley and the best that it has to offer when it comes to planning a dream wedding. And for every woman out there, you know that all begins with your dress. So look at the dresses I am surrounded by this morning, all because Allie Holland, owner of Monica's Bridal on the North Shore, has very kindly welcomed us in. What a beautiful office you have.
Thank you. I feel very lucky.
I am so thrilled to be here. I have two daughters I was sharing with you, and so we've been dreaming of the wedding day, you know, since they were born. And in Chattanooga, Monica's is synonymous with picking out your bridal dress.
Yes, we are very fortunate that we have a long lineage, and we've been in this town for a long time.
I think it's interesting you were sharing with me, and nothing wrong with how other people choose to do it, but y'all have made a purposeful decision at Monica's that all you do are the bridal gowns. That way you become an expert at that.
Yes, correct. I feel really strongly that when you are good at something, you really need to hone in and give it your all to be an expert at that. And part of our decision to go completely bridal, we do still rent suits and tuxes, but we don't have any of the other formal wear, mother wear, any of that anymore. But that has allowed us to really expand our selection for brides, in particular our plus size selection. Almost a third of our gowns are plus size. And we believe that every woman should feel beautiful on her wedding day, whether that's in our gown or somebody else's, but we want to give everybody the opportunity to put on something that makes them feel amazing.
You want them to feel that beauty before the wedding day even comes. So there's a lot of purpose and intent to the way you have the store laid out, even to the privacy that women have when they come in to try on their gowns.
We have multiple separate areas so that you don't necessarily have to be looking at another bride while she's trying on. The caveat being Saturdays. Saturdays can get very busy. Obviously, that's most people's weekend and time off work. So we do sometimes have overlapping areas of that. But if you want a really more quiet experience, if you want it to be a little more calm and purposeful, coming during the week, Tuesday through Thursday, even Mondays, are a great time to do that.
I'm sure you see everything here and you're accustomed to that now. There are probably some brides who come in with a specific idea of what they have in mind, and others who go, oh, isn't this one beautiful? Isn't this one beautiful? So once again, you ask that brides trust you because you know how the gowns fit versus how they look.
Absolutely. I'll have a bride come in and kind of look at the rack and it feels overwhelming. What does this look like on my body? And her verbiage of what she likes might not be my interpretation of it, but as we get to know the bride, we really hone in on that. And because we chose all these gowns purposefully for a fit, for a detail, we know how to go through the racks and find what the bride needs. So she'll trust us and really talk to us, and we're her confidant. Like, we are here for them. So if they will just relax into the process, I find that they have a lot more fun.
Is it true that most brides know it when it gets on their body?
You know, to an extent, yes. But I think that some brides need to work through the day and start really picturing themselves in the day. I would say about half of them, you can tell when they put it on, their body language, something changes. And they might not know it that minute, but you can kind of see that spark going forward. But they don't all have the moment where they cry or this is it. It's just not, if that's not your personality, you may not be like that.
Life is not a TV show.
No.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about getting that dream dress ready, because again, all of these options, and I'm sure you have had a lot of heartbreaking stories over the last couple of years of brides who had, quote, COVID weddings. There was a delay in getting them here that seems to be getting a little bit better. 6 months is still the going timeline?
I would say yes. Sometimes you can get them a little sooner if we do a rush, that kind of thing. There are some options there. But we always tell brides to give yourself 9 to 13 months when you're ordering your gown. And that seems like a long amount of time, but it really isn't when you figure in the shipping and then we need to do alterations, and those take a couple months.
For the brides who don't have that kind of time, you do sell off the floor. It's not your first choice, but you're going to accommodate where you can. But here's the brilliance. You also know the value of these gowns. You want them to look great. So y'all fit every bride who comes in. They don't take the dress and do it themselves.
Nope. We do all the heavy lifting the day that you come shop. We believe this experience should be fun and relaxing, and Moms get to sit, the maids of honor get to sit and just enjoy the bride. We take everything into the dressing room. We help the bride get dressed, of course, to her comfort level. We'll pin them, make them, show them the fit. But one reason, to your point, that we do that is so that when a bride does need something off the floor, the gown is in really good shape.
Yeah, so that's the cake. Let's talk about the icing. And that's the trends that you're kind of seeing and the different styles that are available. When you come in the store, you got the window display beautifully done, and each gown looks a little different.
Yeah, the million dresses for a million girls, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing a huge trend with square necklines. I think everybody that is just a really flattering, I want to say modest, but it can not be modest. Just a really flattering neckline in almost any woman. Square necklines are huge. Texture is huge. Texture in terms of things that look like feathers or 3D flowers, that kind of thing. Ruffle skirts are always fun and never seem to go away. But I think that that's just a classic bridal look.
The Cinderella look.
Yes, absolutely. And then sleek has made a huge comeback in the last several years, 2-3 years. Before it was like all lace. Everybody wanted lace. And now girls are really tending either towards minimalism with very sleek, or we're really seeing some maximalism come back where it's all the sparkle, all the things, everything we can give them.
I began, I think, by talking about the anticipation of the day. I mean, every girl dreams of this from the time she's little bitty. So you kind of have an idea in your mind by the time your engagement comes of what you want.
Sure.
Do you encourage, though, brides to enjoy just the experience and try on lots of different styles?
I do, yes, absolutely. We usually start an appointment by saying, what's your vibe? What do you like? Show us some pictures. And then that first round is really trying all the big things, trying the different necklines and shapes, that kind of thing. I think that it's important that they explore all their options while also staying true to maybe the things that make them most comfortable or they want the most in their dress. Maybe there's a specific detail that is going to make a dress that's different feel like the one.
So a couple of questions. Can they come? How long is an appointment, first of all, when you come? How long is an appointment?
An appointment is about an hour to an hour and a half, and that's just kind of based on the speed that the bride goes through gowns. Some girls are really quick. Some girls like to linger in them and really take it in. So we kind of, about an hour and a half.
So you are appointment only. It's best to make those appointments online simply because if you call, you're probably with a bride.
Right, yeah. And we do try and answer the phone every single time, but that is always on there too. So when we close at 6, the website's always awake.
Right.
So
when they come and they have that initial time, do you see the gamut? Some people come alone or they're with their mom, and some people come with a whole party?
Absolutely. I mean, everything from a girl just wants to be by herself to, hey, we need every sister, cousin, everybody in here. The one thing we encourage, though, is that you really think about who's with you. Although you may have a 10-person bridal party that does love you and wants to see you happy, it is really hard to concentrate in an environment of that many. And one reason, because of the separated areas, we do really limit it to about 5 people. It's just more comfortable. It's a little quieter. Everybody can focus a little more on the bride.
We are comparative creatures by nature, we women are, but it's just so comforting when you walk in here because you're just surrounded by all things girly and beautiful, but you're the one who's going to feel beautiful when you're here. There'll be no comparisons to anybody else but your own self. It all begins here. What is it that your sign says?
It says, and so it begins.
And so it begins. And so does our wedding hour here on 3+U. Allie, thank you so much for inviting us in.
Thank you for having me.
If you want to go ahead and go online and make that appointment for you, there is their website at Monica's Bridal. Also the phone number if you want to take a chance and call. And they would love to make you feel as special as you are.
Hi, welcome to Sonic.